Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On the program today, United Nations rates Nigeria's economy poorest and most unequal amongst countries of the world, with 64% of the population living below the poverty line. National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons raises concerns over thriving human trafficking amidst laws prohibiting the act. And Cross River State Government to partner Indian investors' aviation and pharmaceuticals development. We begin with a story that affects the entire country. The United Nations is painting a gloomy picture of Nigeria's economy, calling it the poorest and most unequal amongst countries of the world, with 64% of our population living below poverty line. This was in a report read during a consultative meeting on the formulation of the UN Development Assistance Framework for the Southeast Geopolitical Zone in Awka. The UN says, quote, "Poverty and hunger have remained high in rural areas, remote communities and amongst female-headed households, and these cut across the 6 geopolitical zones, with prevalence ranging from approximately 46.9% in the southwest to 74% in the northwest and northeast." On unemployment, the report notes that youth unemployment, which is 42% in 2016, has continued to create helplessness and despair, resulting in an upsurge in crime and terrorism. It says that over 10 million Nigerian children of school age are out of school with no knowledge or skill. It estimates Nigeria's revenue to have fallen by as much as 33%, which it says resulted in the contraction of the GDP, that's the gross domestic product, in the first 3 months of 2016. The report concludes by saying that the country's economic problems is as a result of lack of good governance, while also condemning what it calls the division of Nigeria along ethnic lines. That's the United Nations report. The movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta men says it has agreed to settle out of court with the former president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, over the 5 billion naira libel suit against the ex-president. The group, in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Jomo Gbomo, endorsed the mediatory and conciliatory moves by Ijaw national leader, Chief Edwin Clark, to reconcile Henry Awka and his brother Charles with former President Jonathan. The endorsement is coming after Chief Clark held an exploratory meeting regarding amicable and peaceful resolution of the issue with the former president in Abuja over the weekend. The Awka brothers had slammed a 5 billion naira lawsuit against Dr. Jonathan and his media aide for allegedly breaching their fundamental human rights to fair hearing, with a statement issued on August the 8th. The president had, in a publication, allegedly accused the Awka brothers of plotting to assassinate him. In spite of relevant laws against human trafficking in the country, the menace continues to thrive, and that's according to officials of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. The agency's Director for Public Enlightenment, however, says the incidents can be brought down drastically if governments at all levels address the two issues of poverty and unemployment.
Human trafficking is an issue that arises as a result of other malaise in the society, like poverty, like a collapse of social infrastructures, like a collapse of family values. So the challenge, these are the triggers, these are the necessary. If we curb these triggers, if the state governors can help in addressing issues of poverty alleviation, if the local government also do their job, if schools are fixed, then it will be it will not be to the magnitude that we are seeing it right now. So essentially what we are saying is that for some of our youths who imagine that everywhere is better than home, who imagines that the recession in Nigeria will be forever, or that the economic downturns in Nigeria will be forever. My talk to them is that no, that is wrong, because even in the EU, in Western countries where they are rushing up to, the number of Nigerians that died trying to cross the Mediterranean is unacceptable, it's wrong, and that should be a clarion call for parents and for these youths not to go anymore.
To the south-south region of the country now, and politics. And with just days to the Edo State governorship elections, candidates from the major political parties had an opportunity to talk about what they will do for the people in a debate if they become elected. The candidates answered questions bordering on security, economic growth and unemployment in an event organized by Channels Television in collaboration with Enough is Enough Nigeria.
Current recession offers Nigeria a huge opportunity to turn its fortunes and the future around. We spend almost $15 billion a year importing food and food items. This is what we can cultivate internally in Nigeria. We spend about $500 million a year importing fish and chicken. That Edo can produce. And what you need is somebody who has the experience, who understands how to pull the resources together, the capital, the manpower, and the planning, so that investors can be attracted to the state and make the required investments. Government's responsibility is to create the enabling environment, and the government that is not accountable, that is corrupt, cannot attract high-quality investments.
We first of all have to identify why we are in the problem. Okay? The two political parties that have governed us put us in this mess. PDP and APC. They owe Nigeria, they owe Edo people on reserve apology, which is key to me. Now you talk about Bender Bridge, you talk about that. What we need to do is to bring capable investors. Government doesn't have that money anymore. The economy is going down. You need investors to come and invest in those industries that have collapsed. That is key to us. Thank you.
Mr. Arelegwe, thank you very much. We in the Labour Party believe that we can do it together. It's not going to be because that is what is killing the government. But when we carry the people along, we partner with them. The people, we see it as their own also businesses, then they will have the interest to protect it. And we in the Labour Party believe when we encourage farming, we're going to make it interesting that even our young ones can even try to venture into it. And we also make sure we are going to encourage inventors and innovators. By so doing, we create more employment, and by also making sure that the unemployed youths are taken out of the streets.
I'd like the same question to go to Pastor Isaiyamu. We'll come to the Labour Party.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the truth about those industries is that they certainly can be revived. Bender Brewery, for example, that was the brewery that funded the free education policy of Professor Ambrose Ali. Unfortunately, this government has abandoned it completely. It will interest you to note that when we came in, we found out that that industry, that brewery, was sold to church gates. But when we looked at the terms, we found out that they should charge the states, and forcefully we had to retrieve it. And during the period when that brewery was running, that brewery was giving the Edo State government 25 million monthly. But in the past 7.5 years, no attention has been made to revive that place. You don't even need to spend government money. There are a lot of brewers in Germany, in Europe, who will gladly come.
And that election in Edo State for the governorship seat is just days away. You're watching News Across Nigeria. When we come back, also in the South-South, the Cross River State government partner with Indian investors in the sectors of pharmacy as well as aviation. Please stay with us.